welcome back to Feathers, Fur, and Flies. My name is Zach, and today we are going to be looking at a traditional winged wet fly. For a long time, these were the only flies that were actually fished until people started monkeying around with modern-day dry flies and getting things to float on the top. This was how people fished wet flies, sometimes up to 10 flies on a single leader. So today we are going to be looking at a pattern called the Lead Winged Coachman. It's a very simple pattern to tie. Great intro to winged wet flies. What I have here is basically the equivalent of a mustad 399 sprout bend hook. It's a 1x strong and it's a 1x long in size 6. And the thread that we're going to be using for this is a uni thread in 8/0. Wax on the thread here. Started. So normally wet flies like this are going to be a little bit smaller than this, probably size 8s to 12s. But just for the sake of doing a video about this and letting you guys kind of see the techniques, we're going a little bigger. So what I'm going to do is bring my thread down just past the barb of the hook. And the reason we're doing this is because we're going to add a tag into this. Now a tag, there's different terminology or terms for parts of the hook and or parts of a fly. And a tag is a traditional wet fly or salmon fly portion that is just the back portion of the hook. So what I've got here is just some Mylar Tinsel, gold and silver, size 12 by Danville's. There we go. Can't talk today. And we want the gold side to be out. So what I'm going to do is tie that gold side down. First off, I'm going to trim a little taper into that. Get some wax on my thread for grip. Tie that in here. So now when I turn that over, that gold side is out. And all I'm going to do is make one complete wrap at the back, 2, so there's a third wrap. Catch that in. Try not to break my thread on the point of the hook. Trim that off. So most wet flies that you will find, especially the older patterns, or the true winged wet flies, are going to have these basic body structures. They're going to have the tag, the body, the rib, and the wing, and then some will have a collar. Now what I've got here are 2 Mallard Primary feathers. These are going to be our main wings. But for our body, we're going to be using the fibers from the strands from a eyed peacock feather. So I'm going to grab good, looks like there's about 6 of them there. Pull those out, line up the tips, trim them even, catch those in. Now, peacock is a very weak fiber. So what I actually like to do is kind of twist these together into a rope very gently. And then leaving the thread back hanging just forward of the barb, I'm going to start wrapping this up. One turn right in front of the other. I'm going to stop about, I don't know, 3 mil from the eye, because we still need to put in our wing, and then we have a hackle that is going to be going on here. So now what I'm going to do is actually take this thread and wind over the top of that peacock herl, just to try to strengthen it a little bit. All the way up to the front. Put some wax on there. Make sure it doesn't slip. And then we'll trim that out. Tidy this up a little bit. All right. So next thing that we're going to be doing is adding in our hackle. Now, we can use what's called a false hackle, where we put something directly underneath the hook and we don't wrap it around, or we can do a type of collar. This is I believe it's pronounced a Bahama hen skin that I got. Great for wet flies, but what we're looking for is that kind of ginger color here on the sides, that beautiful light ginger color. Just go through and pick out one of these feathers here. Just going to check the length of these fibers here. So what I want is that fiber length to extend just back to the point of the hook, and that looks perfect. So all I'm going to do is grab that feather by the tip, fold these back, just like this. One, two, three. Fold the tip of that feather back. 1, 2, 3. And grab a hold of the tip of that feather. Just break that out of there. So now I'm just going to palmer this up. 2, 3 wraps. My thread's going to come across. I'm going to put a 90-degree bend into that stem. Keeping that thread tight. 1, 2, 3. A couple more. 4, 5. Trim that out, and then I'm just going to pull those fibers back that were going forward of the eye. Wrap those back. Now, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but what I've done is, by using the wax, it allows me to make a more durable fly. And if you can see, right here, it's very flat. And that's going to allow me, as we put our wings on now, this is going to allow me to get a very nice, even platform where I can mount those wet fly wings. Got my quill. Take a section out of this one. Section of this one. There we go. Again, Vulcan death grip on here, nice loose turn. Straight up. Push all those fibers back to the top. Tighten down and brace that backside with your middle finger. One more time. And let go. And for a fish and fly, that will do. Just kind of preen those a little bit. And you can see that that wing is directly in line with the hook, shank of the hook. It's exactly what you want. If it tilts to one side or the other, that fly is not going to swim straight. A few more wraps in here without letting go of that wing. I'm going to come in and trim out those fibers. Wax on my thread, pull those throat fibers back, and then grab onto that wing again. Turn my vise just a bit. All I'm going to do is just start building up a nice little head here for this fly. A little more wax. That wax gives you the confidence to build the head of that fly up. And you can put tension on it, but you don't have to, ream on it, but you don't have to make it loose so it's gonna slip. I'm gonna grab my whip finisher. Make sure that little fiber there gets back to where it needs to be. 2, 3, 5. Turn that off. Just a little bit of preening here. And you can see that again that backside of that wing collapsed on me, so you want to try to get it as best you can to where those things are going to lay straight on top of each other. It's not only going to give you the best performance, but it's just going to look really good too. Just going to take my head cement, a couple of coats. Pull my throat down. And there it is. That's the Lead Winged Coachman winged wet fly. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below. If you have any recommendations or suggestions as to what you want to see me tie, please send them in, message me. Remember to like the video and subscribe. And until next time, tight lines. See you later.